Here is what it's like exploring Puglia without a rental car, with costs and my exact itinerary part 2. After a bit of a messy arrival to Ostuni, I am glad to say I really fell in love with the city. The main square and main street of the old town is definitely touristy and it gets lots of day trippers, just like anywhere in Puglia really. But if you take the alleys deeper into the old town and if you explore after 6 p.m, it is super charming and so beautiful. There's also some amazing wine bars, salumeria and restaurants in the residential part of the city, like where I stayed. My apartment was super cheap for Puglia, only €39.50 a night for a 1-bedroom with a kitchen. It was a 10-minute walk to the old town, hilly but short, and it was called Liberty Bell, and you can only book it on booking.com. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Ostuni is so photogenic. The best thing to do here is to just get lost in the alleyways and eat. This mortadella and pistachio sandwich from Crumb 35 was brilliant, and other eateries to save in your maps are Volcani, Dish, and Terra Nostra Salumeria. Another thing I did here was a Lecce day trip. Ostuni is not a great base for day trips because you have to bus to the train station, so it's just additional logistics, but I knew I wouldn't have time to spend more than a day in Lecce, so I did it anyway. This might be an unpopular opinion, and I admit that I didn't get the full Lecce experience because I only had half a day there, but honestly, I did not rate this. It's known as the Florence of the South because of its Baroque architecture, but art and architecture isn't really my top thing, and my Lecce plans were kind of ruined because the restaurant my heart was set on was closed for a private event that day, which I didn't realize until I had walked there, so it just felt like my day trip was a bit of a waste of time. But that is just my personal opinion, and I'll definitely give it another chance next time I'm in Puglia. I went back to Ostuni for my last sunset there, and it did not disappoint. I first of all headed to Borgo Antico Bistro for a drink and some antipasti with a beautiful view, but they had a 2-person minimum for their antipasti platter, meaning I had to pay €20 and would have ended up wasting food. So instead I ended up getting a delicious takeaway dinner of cheap panzerotti from Asso di Spade, and it was divine. Here's a little foodie hack for my fellow solo travelers. The 2-person minimum for antipasti is unfortunately very common in Puglia, but if you go to a local salumeria with €10 cash and ask them if they could put together a range of local products for that price, they'll usually be happy to slice some meats and might have local cheeses, olives and spreads to give you as well. It's the perfect cheap and solo-friendly way to try the regional cuisine and to practice your Italian. On my last day in Ostuni, the bus wasn't until the afternoon, but my apartment checkout was 11 a.m, so I looked for luggage storage in town, and there was a radical storage option at the information centre in the main square for €5 per bag. So I left my stuff there and did the last of my Ostuni wandering before another slightly messy public transport journey to Alberobello, which I'll tell you about tomorrow.